Welcome to this yoga class, a Hatha-style yoga class that will focus on using the block in various ways to strengthen and support our practice. So, have a lie down to start off with. The block nearby around the center of your mat. And to begin, let's find a little bit of ease. Ground through the backs of the shoulders and start to rock the pelvis. So tuck the tailbone toward you, toward belly button, and then release. Tuck and release. And just see how this feels as you exhale to tuck and inhale to release. Feet press into earth. 2 more. Nice. Find neutral and take that block and place it between the thighs, just not on the knees. Give it a nice squeeze as you tuck the pelvis and release back to neutral curve. Squeeze, slight tuck, and release. So exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Continue. So support bridge pose. 2 more times. Last time, squeeze the block, roll up through the spine, find your bridge. Hands or arms extend directly from the shoulder. Palms can face in today. Right arm overhead, left arm toward the toes. And switch. Staying in the bridge. Even the inner ankles are squeezing in. One more reach. Then arms extend to the sky, really heavy through the backs of the shoulders. Stay lifted. Remove that block. Keep the legs just as they are. Block is between both hands, kind of widest height or widest distance. Reach overhead and then lower the hips to hover as the block comes to the thighs. And then lift, reach overhead into the bridge and return. Getting into our legs quite a lot here. Now lift, block reaches overhead, then block to the thighs. Lower the hips, block comes overhead. So just reversed a little bit here. Press pelvis up, block comes to the thighs. Just a few like this. Really firing up the hamstrings, glutes can get involved here, inner thighs. One more time, lift, lower the pelvis, arms can reach overhead as much or as little as you'd like, and then draw the block in toward your chest. Woo. Inhale here, and exhale to curl. Inhale, lower, exhale, curl. Let's do 3 more. 2. Last one. Stay in the curl. Reach those arms out and pause. Can you roll up a little higher? And release that down. Block goes to your side, hands behind the thighs. Inhale. Exhale to curl all the way up. Reach those legs long and fold. Roll up through the spine and plant the feet. Block between the thighs for boat pose. Arms can reach or stay behind thighs here. Feet can be on the earth or legs can be lifted. Shins up. Okay. Squeeze in on that block. Reach the right arm overhead and return. Left arm and return. adding a little movement while the legs stay still and strong. One more. Nice. Block can come out between the hands just as we had it before. Reach it overhead and return. Reach it overhead and return. Let's do 3, 2. Last one, reach and return the block to the shins. Maybe you lift the shins for a moment and boat. Squeeze those legs together. Then remove the block, cross the legs, roll forward. Block can land as you find all fours. Arch the spine. And actually, just done the opposite of what I've said, but you get the idea. Arch and around. And then pause. Tuck those toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk yourself to the front of your mat. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Have the block in the hands, bend the knees. Block to chest here, sink into chair. And the arms, if you'd like, could reach overhead and return to the heart. Reach and return. Two more. Press in on that block. Last one. Reach the arms long and press your feet now to come stand. And then tricep press here, a little less traditional. Bend the elbows and then let arms to straight. Give those legs a little break. Let's do 2 more. Try not to jet the chin forward. Last one. Nice. Sink into chair. Block to chest. Block to earth. Hands to block. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Step back into that plank once more. Roll forward with the body. Knees can be down here. Bend the elbows so you hover. No lower than the block. And press up. We really don't even want to go close to the block. Let's put on its highest height, the center of chest here, so you can see how far down you really want to come. Last time, bend, straighten the arms, chest through the arms. And tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward. This time, block goes between the thighs. So long ways between thighs. The short end is sticking out. And hands to shins, halfway lift as you squeeze the block. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees and sink into chair. I'm going to move my block a little. There, sink into chair. Arms can reach and return to the chest. Reach the arms and return. See how this feels. Squeeze this block. The power that's there. One more time, arms reach. And then press through the feet. Arms can circle overhead. And draw to the heart center. Just stand in Tadasana with the block here. And it's as if you could draw it back behind you with the squeeze of the thighs. Breathe into the thumbs. Another inhale. And exhale to rebend those knees and fold forward. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Now this is tricky, but with that block, some people can hop back. Step, 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 step to the back of your mat so that you're in downward facing dog with the block between the thighs. Roll forward with the body. The knees can come down if you'd like, or they can stay lifted. So take a little tricep press. Remembering you don't need to come down that far. Remember where that block was before on the highest height? Last one here. And chest through the arms, either with knees down or lifted. Really activate through the fronts of the legs. And then tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step, 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 or hop, hop, hop to the front of the mat with that block there. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Roll up through the spine this time, squeeze in on that block. Arms circle and hands to heart. Remove the block to the hands as you step back, long stance, runner's lunge with that left leg. Hands, squeeze in on that block. As we lean forward, and again, block to chest and press away. Staying in the lunge. One more time, reach and return the block to the chest. Take it in the left hand on its highest height and rotate to the right. And turn back into your runner's lunge. The block can just stay there as hands come to heart center. Blade that left back foot as you open up into warrior two. Lengthen the lead leg. It's back in space, and then right arm down, left arm up. Maybe that block is there for you for that bottom hand. Release the toes and squeeze the legs toward one another. We'll stay. Finding length through the waist. Another breath in. And exhale, bend that right knee. This is where the block is nice to test the waters here of going maybe a little lower. And you can again change block height. So keeping strong through legs. Another breath in and out. In and out. As you set that left hand onto block, pivot on back toes, rotate again. Maybe the block's at a different height here. And frame front foot, step back into plank. Roll forward with the body, just go down part way, and chest to the arms, and hips up and back. Dog. Start to walk yourself forward. Take that block with you when you get to the front of the mat. Hands on the block, whatever height you'd like. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Take that block in the hands as you bend the knees. Sink into chair and press yourself high. Arms can stretch overhead. Bend the elbows and lengthen the arms. Bend to straight. Without the block there, see if you can keep that same sense of connection between the inner thighs, even press through the feet, as if the block was traveling back behind you, if you're squeezing it back behind you. One more time here, reach those arms up. That right leg will slide back, long lunge here. And block to chest and extend. Find the strength in your legs, hips face forward. Drive through that back heel. 2. Last one. Reach the block overhead and draw it into the chest. Clasp the block in your right hand. Plant the block, maybe highest height here, as you rotate left. Another inhale. And exhale to pivot to face the earth with the torso once more. Hands to heart center. Blade that back foot. Arms spread open. Pardon me. Wide into warrior two. Lengthen that lead leg. Hips back in space. Stretch forward. Left arm down, right arm up. Block might come in handy. We often kind of dump here. We want some length. So stay a little higher than you usually do. Another breath in and out. Breath in. And as you breathe out, bend that left knee this time. And again, adjust your block as you'd like to find side angle. Right arm over the top ear, perhaps. Revolving or rotating that shoulder open toward the sky. So press your feet. Don't forget about that back foot. And then pivot on back toes. That right hand will come to the block, whatever height you'd like, as you rotate left. And then frame front foot. Actually, before you frame foot, put that block on the highest height. Then frame front foot and step back. And forward with the body. Shut it on, go only this far. Okay? And lift up into your upward facing dog. And hips high, down, dog. Widen those knees for child's pose. And the block could come between feet. So you could sit right on the block and reach forward. Unwinding here. As we shift those arms, slide them right. You can stack the left hand on top of the right one if you want. And sweep the hands over to the left. Return back to center. Let those hands slide in as you roll up through the spine. Nice seated position here, hero. Hands can come behind the body. You might lift the pelvis. You might not. And lower the pelvis. Walk the hands forward so that you can find your shins parallel with the legs. Roll up through the spine here. And you can give that block a little squeeze with the feet and shins. Engage, that'll help to engage through the glutes as you lift through the chest. If there's a string on your chest, hands can come behind the body, open up across the heart, and then return. Maybe play with the elbows a little bit too. Elbows draw back as you squeeze shoulder blades toward one another and return. Soften the elbows forward a little, draw them back. Like a slow flap of the arms. Two more. Last one, you might reach back a little further. Some people will reach for the feet, me not today. Return to center. Remove that block, set it off to the side as you swing the legs in front. Inhale here and exhale to fold. How deep you are in the fold. Block could come underneath the forehead as well. Breathe into the back of the heart. Another breath in. And exhale to roll up through the spine. Walk off to the side as you bend the knees. Could return even to your boat pose for just a moment. And then roll down through the spine. Hug knees into chest. And then plant feet supported bridge here. Peel the spine off the earth and find your block, lowest height, middle height. Feels right for you. So you roll one shoulder under the body and then the other. And stay. And sense the weight evenly on the block. Is too much, you can take a pillow, just do a regular bridge. Another inhale. And exhale to lift the hips. If you're not already in the lowest height, place the block on the lowest height or no block at all, especially if you have any issues with your SI joint, sacroiliac joint. Okay. Caution here, but it can feel good for a lot of us. Take that right leg long, the single leg bridge here. Inhale and exhale, slide that right heel in. The left leg goes long. Again, this can be done without block. Experiencing a length, whatever gives you nice lengthening through front of hip, groins. Another breath in. And exhale, slide that heel back and toward the body. Here, remove that block. And maybe if you'd like, take it underneath the feet and open up the inseams of the legs. Again, no block is needed here. This could be too deep for some of us. Just set the block aside. It's just nice to be shown variations with equipment. Another breath in. And exhale to close those knees like a book. You can use the feet to roll sort of the block in toward you. So you can take it in the hands. If fish is in your practice, we can try that now. A variation that I really like is without the block, to roll one shoulder under the body and then the other. And the arms or hands will be either under the booty or under the hamstrings. Legs can go long. So this is a nice variation of fish. And then with the block, you can roll over to one side. Block could come behind the heart. This is where it's sometimes nice to have two blocks too. So only if this feels good do you try it. And then gotta kind of be finicky here as to where you get the block to the upper spine. And then the head can drape over. And this is where some people like a pillow or instead two blocks. Okay. But the head can come down for some of us. The chest can open. Some people will do long legs. That's not for me today. I think for me, heel toe, and you might try this too. The feet wider and allow the knees to come in and knee mountain. But decide where you'd like to be. There should be no sharp shooting or pins and needles in this position. Okay. Summertime, opening of the heart. Long, strong breath. If the legs are long, bend the knees, plant the feet. If a knee mountain, heel toe those feet so that they're parallel, the knees can part just slightly. Roll over to one side if on a block and remove it. Find your spine. Take any other postures that would serve you here. Maybe you draw the knees into chest. Or perhaps a happy baby of your choice. Could clasp backs of thighs or shins, sides of feet. And take your savasana of choice. Today I'm going to demonstrate staying in that knee mountain again. So knees together and block. Could go under pelvis or just sitting on the tops of the knees for a little bit of weight or on the pelvis. It's that tiniest bit of weight. Notice the subtleties of your savasana. And while you lie here, I have a poem by a friend of mine. She's written 2 books. Her poem is titled From Butterfly to Butterfly in her book Finding Hope, Life After Trauma. And her name is Shakina Shakti. This is her poem. You cannot give away what you don't have. You can only give away what you have inside. This is why hurt people hurt others. If you are filled with anger and resentment and hatred, judgment, these will be your gifts to others. But what you have inside is a reflection of what is on the outside. So when you fill yourself with love, love will appear around you. You attract what you are. If you want love, love others. If you want others to be generous to you, be generous with others. If you want to be understood, seek to understand. She wanted to change the world. So she started with herself. When you finally get clarity and you decide for the final time what you are willing to accept, it will surprise you how quickly the universe will conspire in your favor. Take a breath in and breath out. So you sense into the heart space. And what is inside? Let the kindness in your heart shine and emanate to the very outside of your being. in your own time. Start to add small movements to the body. If there's a block on the knees, remove it. Maybe the legs slide long if not already there. Move and stretch. Fingertips to toes. Bring on a yawn. Let it become real. Perhaps a final knee hug. And roll on to your favorite side. And use the top hand to press yourself up to seated, perhaps on that block. Maybe with opposite leg on top, the one you usually don't have on top. And roll the chin, or the head rather, one way and the other. And head returns to center. Arms reach overhead. Perhaps look up to the hands as they unite together. And you draw them to the forehead. May our thoughts come from our hearts to our mouth and throat. May our words be kind yet empowered. And to the heart where compassion lies. May we connect to it and live it and be it. Thank you for this practice. Satnam. Ah. Again, my friend's poem is called From Butterfly to Butterfly in her book, Finding Hope, Life After Trauma. And you can see one of her videos or channel link, whichever one I put there, in the end screen. So if you'd like to join me for more yoga, Fridays is the regular release day, and then every other Wednesday for mat Pilates. Take care.